Hey, Shalom, Shalom, call out, Yahbashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, salutations to the elect. I want to touch on 2nd Ezra 16:21, and it basically gets into, in the last days, victuals shall wax cheap. To that they shall think they self to be in a good case. So, touching on this precept, you'll look around now and you'll be like, well, shit, things are not cheap. And when you really look at this scripture, it goes into the MOTB, because things are not cheap right now. Salaki, if you hear like fucking brakes is rubbing, gotta get these shits changed. But anyway, I'm still do this video. I ain't dropped a video in like a minute now, so. But victuals shall wax cheap. So you look around, things are not cheap. Inflation, and the economy, the Great Reset, and all of this. So things are not cheap. So you'd be like, well, what's going to make things get cheap? What's going to make things get cheap is the replacing of basically the new system. So the replacing of human beings with AI, with robots. And fucking speed trap, with robots. So, and when companies is able to replace, because it's easier to maintain a robot and it's cheaper than to actually pay a person. So, and they work 24/7 around the clock, no sick days, none of that. So, people is gonna, like, case in point, I don't know where y'all at, but down here in Maryland, they got car wash, right? But they got the automated car washes. The shit is like, the cheapest I saw was like $9. And you got different ones and shit, but basically that shit do the same shit. Shit look clean to me, you know what I mean? But, like, ain't no real difference from the 9, the 11, the 13 and shit. Maybe small technical, but the cheapest was $9. Now, an average car wash, with human beings and shit, like wiping your shit down and stuff like that, that shit like $30, So, the wash is $9, and you get like a $2 vacuum. One spot was $1.50. You vacuum your own shit. But that was like, what's that? Under $12. So, and it's way faster. You know what I mean? Now, with human beings, could they do a little better job and spot little shit? Yeah. But the average person don't give a fuck about that little intricate shit unless you really into your car like that. But like, it's like, yo, you pull up, pay, go through that shit. They got the automatic air dryer at the end, and you out of that bitch. And even if it ain't drive fully, drive around for 5-10 minutes to let the air blow, dry your shit, air dry it. So that's one example. Things shall wax cheap. You know what I mean? Then if it's a bunch of them shits around, right? Other people gonna want, because you don't need, all you gotta do is maintenance that. You don't need to be there or no shit like that. All you do is maintenance it. Now it's a lady in a booth pumping gas and shit, whatever like that. But all you do is maintenance it, and people just follow instructions, go through it. That's it. And that's just one example of things gonna wax cheap, because when they coming out with the self-driving Ubers, now people say, oh, I ain't fucking with that. You gonna fuck with it because they gonna make it dirt cheap, because to be in the electric car with no driver, first of all, electric is cheaper than gas. You still gotta pay, but it's cheaper than gas. And a hybrid is cheaper than a fully gas car. But, and then you don't have to pay a person. So a $40 Uber drive could be $15 in an electric non-driving Uber. So you mean to tell me you're gonna waste $25 fucking dollars because you want a human being? And matter of fact, some of these human beings can't even fucking drive. Maybe the car drive better than a fucking human being on some real shit. So you might try to fight it at first, but who the fuck? Everybody is oppressed, suppressed, and depressed. And compressed. You know what I mean? So everybody is hurting for money. So if they find a way like, oh, we could save money, you know what I mean? Then you find other people. People are sheep too. You see other people doing it, and they be like, nah, it ain't that bad. You know what I mean? I saved $300 in Ubers, like by getting a driveless Uber. And people like, yeah, 300? She's like, yeah, 300. People gonna be like, fuck that shit. Especially these women. See, motherfucker backed up. Stupid bitch. Motherfucker, these women can't drive. Talking about people can't drive. Motherfucker backed up and, oh man, never mind. I don't want to get off topic. But anyway, these the Ubers, right? You probably better off with the robotic shit than these motherfuckers out here. Because these people were zombies. I hate this shit. My brakes is fucking squeaking and shit. That's that sound. I'm on my way to get these shits changed now. But anyway, hopefully it ain't that bad coming through the speaker. But that's the point, you know. So AI, so with these companies too, like payments, you know, see, people don't understand settlements and payments and shit. When you when you go to a business and buy a coffee or buy you a t-shirt, they don't get that money right away. You think they do, but they don't. That shit go through like a little system where they got something called batch payments, to where they got to send a batch payments, and then they send that money back to the business's account. So they get paid in like 3 to 5 business days, and don't let it be like a Wednesday. So say like they say, so batch payments come in cycles, because you don't want to keep doing batch payments. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to keep doing petty ass batch payments. You want to how I put this? You want to have cycles of them. Like, yo, every 100 batches, you send a batch payment in, because you will spend less money by doing it in cycles and by doing more at a time than just doing every single payment. That shit gonna kill you. So these companies Salakia, I'm driving in the middle of rush hour. Kind of got to be on point with these idiots, right? These companies, they're going to be able to get paid instantly. Or case in point, when you buy something and you be like, with your card, with your credit or debit card, and you be like, man, I ain't want this shit, give me my money back. Now, if they want to be nice about it, they could go in the drawer and give you your money back. But really, they can't give you your money back, because they could, but that shit gonna take 3 to 5 business days for everything to process, for them to send it back, and all of that shit. And that's why people get paid every week and people get paid every 2 weeks. Now, the company could come out the pocket and pay you. Like, I'm going to just write you a check. I had a cool boss who did that shit. Like, if shit was fucked up or running slow, he'd just write us a personal check out of his own bread. But he was some cool Nigerian cat. Brother named Charles. But most people ain't gonna do that shit. They just gonna be like, yo, you gotta wait, checks running late. That's why they say we doing payroll. So now they gonna have it where if you do work or got some type of job, you gonna get paid. You could get paid every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? They even got some jobs out here. I saw like a Royal Farms or some shit. It was like same day pay. I don't know if they doing that like for some through they. So based off too, like Cash App, right, and PayPal. With Cash App, they got a button up there, instant pay, right? So you send $100, they take out like $5, instant pay. But you thinking you got paid instantly. No, this shit ain't go through that fast. What they did was Cash App fronted you the money. Like, all right, you want your shit right now, I'm gonna front you the money. Your payment went through, because it'll be denied off rip if you ain't got no shit on your side. So what they'll do is they'll be like, all right, we gonna front you the money, the $100. But we gonna charge you $7 to send it. So you ain't getting 100. You getting 93. You know? So, and they gonna get that shit back later in 3 to 5 days, but they making just like an ATM. You know what I mean? So they tax you on giving it to you right away, cause if you want it now, I'm gonna charge you. So if you do that to a bunch of people, you gonna come up. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I just charged 1,000 people $7. Well, Cash App is millions of people, right? Maybe billions of people. Well, millions of people, right? Because I think that's just an American thing, right? So if you charge 10 million people $7 because they want their money right away, shit, you just made $70 million. But it's gonna come in like 3 to 5 business days. And what it says business days, because banks and shit is closed on the weekend. So if you put your shit in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you probably don't, once like Saturday and Sunday come, you probably really don't get the money in your account from your business or the money you want sent back or whatever. That shit probably don't show up till Monday or Tuesday. And you like, damn, man, and you running, you like, I had something to do with that money, right? I had plans. Or people that work through Swift and shit like that. It take a long, like when you deal with foreign exchanges and when you gotta trade currencies and shit like that, that shit could even be more tedious and take even longer because you gotta exchange into their currency and do the deal, send it to this bank, then the bank process it and all of that. But now they're gonna have it where things move a lot faster, like they could move money like information, and that's all set up in lines of what the MOTB. But things gonna get cheap because they don't have the price of humans no more. They got robots, and robots could do shit a lot quicker and a lot faster, and that gives these companies more money for their pocket. So now when they have more money for their pocket, they could undercut the next person because they don't have to pay people. You know how many businesses go down because they don't have workers, they don't have reliable workers, they don't have, and that's why most businesses that do make it be like family businesses that do go the distance. because they all know each other, they family, you know what I mean? And they all in it for, you know, it's a family business. But, and that's even tricky. But, you know, dealing with, let me get over Salakia. Dealing with that, you know, you could get paid every day or every fucking second, really. Like, you could look down and see as you work every hour or every half an hour, you get $20 an hour, $30 an hour. You'll see that shit just go into your account automatically. As you work, as you on the clock, your shit is just running up. So, and people are able to make products. People are able to drop these products down to a low price since they don't have to pay people. It's locking my attention. I'm driving these fools, this rush hour, these fools out here. Gotta be on point. They will run into you. Yeah, Salakia. So these people, you know, they're able to make, not people, these businesses, they're able to make their products cheaper to undercut the next person. Because that's what, America's a capitalistic society. So it's all about cutthroat, you know, building on another man's foundation. So if I don't have to pay people, if you selling oxtails, I'm selling oxtails. We getting them for the same price. We can't afford to make it but so cheap without losing money. But I don't have, I'm up on a new system where I don't have to pay employees. I got robots, different shit, making my shit. And I don't have to pay employees. And I can run my shit all night. You got to shut your shit down. People tired and all that. My robots is up running all night. So due to that, I can make, we both selling $30 dinners, oxtails. But I'm going to make my shit 20. So when the whole neighborhood find out my shit is for, and I'm still making a profit. Even if I make it 25, people gonna wanna say that $5. And I put a little bit more in there, nigga, I'm gonna blow you out the water with ease. And that's what's gonna happen. So things is gonna wind up being dirt cheaper. And it says that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Why would people think, see, people love cheap shit and they think they getting a deal. Me personally, I don't really like shit if it's too cheap or free. You know what I mean? Because like certain things. Now, if you my man, we cool. You want to give me the car for $1,500, then cool. I know it's love. But like, I don't buy no fucking $1,500 car. Unless like it's some real, but them days is over with. Like, I spend like about $4,000, $5,000 on a car. Cause I don't need no shit breaking down. I don't like being stranded. I don't like spending more money fixing the shit and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So certain things have a certain price value. So people gonna think, oh yeah, things back on, you know, things is fine, but they don't know they being lined up for the MOTB. That's why it says that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. But actually, they're going to be one step closer to getting that MOTB put in them. So, hey, I know I use a lot of examples to clarify that. It was just one main scripture to bring out. Check it out, 2nd Esdra 16:21. Meditate on that through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. With that, shalom.